Hi friends, I am Krishna Mohan. So today we are going to learn about what is a constructor in Python. Okay, so we already know how to create a class. Okay, now we will create how to create a constructor. Okay, so I will be using PyCharm. Okay, for writing my program, I will be using PyCharm as the editor. So here in the previous class we have discussed about the class, the syntax of the class should be a class should be a keyword should be there and the class name, then colon, then we have to define the data members and the methods. Okay, and how to declare a method. Okay, inside a class. Okay, def is the keyword, then we have to give the method name and the argument list, and colon inside that we have to give the logic. Okay, then how to create an object also you have seen it. Okay, now we will repeat the same thing. Okay, uh, but with respect to the constructor. Okay, something what we will be extending that previous class. Okay, so first this is the project which I have created. Okay, in that project I have created a package. In that package I have created a class called class object. Okay, so first what I have created a file, not the class. Okay, this is the file, Python file, class object. Okay, now what I will be doing is I will be writing um, creating a class. So for creating a class, we have to give the class as the keyword, class class, and we have to write the class name. Suppose my class is name is sample class. So sample class colon. Okay, inside that I wanted to uh, declare a variable. Okay, that too a static variable. How to create a static variable? Simply suppose a is equal to some 10. That is a static variable. Okay, uh, okay, right. Then now, and we have already done up to this point, and we have created a method also. If I wanted to create a method, I have to use def. Okay, and function name for method name fun, then okay, self it automatically it will come because it is a non-static function. Okay, in this function I wanted to um, print some name. Okay, right. Now this is a class. Okay, in this class I will write one comment also. Okay, uh, what I will be writing is which is called the document string. Okay, so what is this class is for? This class is to, sorry, here this class is to print my name. Okay, so I have given some comment over here. Okay, right. Now the important thing over here. Okay, here is uh, here this is what we have learned in the previous class. Now to call this method, what I have to do, this method is inside this class, and this is a non-static method. Okay, to call this method what I have to do, I have to create a object. So create a object. How we will create a object? So first we have to give some we have to give the class name. What is the class name? Sample class, open and closure brackets. Okay, this is what is called the default constructor. Okay, is equal to. Okay, actually in any other language, okay, when we are defining in this way, uh, if it will go to the means default constructor. It represents the default constructor, but here actually whenever in the runtime, whenever this will be executed, what happens, a memory space will be allocated. Okay, a memory space will be allocated, and I want some means reference variable to point that memory space. Okay, so to use that memory space, I have to, what happened whenever I am doing this, I am writing, this statement is executed. What happens? A memory space will be created, and all the non-static stuff and the static stuff which we have declared in the class will be stored in that memory space. Okay, and to access that memory space, there should be some reference variable which should be referring to that particular memory space. So I will be giving some variable name, that is what is the reference variable which is referring to the memory space. Okay, so this is how an object is being created. So this is actually what you say, this is the object we have to say. Okay, and this is the reference variable which is referring to that particular object or the memory space. Okay, uh, what I will be doing is, okay, so this is how an object is being created. This is also we have seen in the earlier class. Okay, if I wanted to call this method, what I have to do, I have to give ref dot fun. Okay, in this way we have to call it. Okay, let's run it. Okay, Mohan has been printed, right? Right. Now, okay, um, we will take this all thing out. This we have learned. Okay, I will take the entire thing, that otherwise it will be a bit confusing. Okay, I will create a class. Some C1 is my class. Okay, now what I will be doing is, I wanted to create a constructor. Okay, in Java, how we will create a constructor? In Java, sir, why are you giving the Java example, sir? You may ask. Because in most of the companies now, we are shifting from Java to Python. So most of the people will have the idea on Java. Okay, so in Java, the how will you define a means constructor? Uh, we'll write some void. Will write no. Okay, constructor name is the same as the class name. So uh, suppose the class name is C1, so C1, like this we will be defining it. Okay, in Java, some, if it is public you will write it as a public. Okay, so this is how you will define it. Okay, that is what is the default constructor. But in Python, okay, how we will define it? Def is the keyword, then underscore underscore in it, then underscore underscore self colon. In this way you have to define it. In this you have to uh, write the logic. Okay, and the constructors are used only uh, for initializing the variables. Okay, even though it will print the thing, you can write the logic, but constructors are not meant to write the logic or print anything. Okay, it is only to initialize the values. Okay, like in Java. Okay, the same concept will be applicable. Okay, now how you will defining a constructor? Def as a function we will writing as def. Okay, in the same way you have to write def as the keyword, then underscore underscore init underscore underscore self. Okay, that is what is the constructor. In this way you have to declare it. So what I will be doing is I will be declaring a constructor. So first what we have to write? We have to write def underscore underscore init. So here it is came. Okay, this is predefined. Okay, okay, now in that what you have to do, we have to only initialize the variables. Suppose I wanted to initialize the variables, so and I wanted to initialize the variables, and the variables which I wanted to initialize is a non-static variables. Okay, so if I wanted to initialize a non-static variable, I have to use self keyword. Self is like this in what you call Java. So it is like this. So self dot some a is equal to 10. I am initializing the values. Okay, in the same way, self dot b is equal to some 20. Okay, what I have done? I have created a constructor. Okay, what is the constructor? How the constructor will be created? With the keyword def underscore underscore init underscore underscore self. Okay, what is the self we will be discussing? Self is like this. Okay, so if you want to use a non-static variables, it should be this dot, sorry, self dot. Okay, right. Then this is what is non-static variables. Now I will be creating this is what is the constructor. Now what I will be doing, I will be creating an object. So ref is equal to c1. Okay, so this is the object. Okay, then the question comes, is there explicitly we have to call the constructor? No, whenever an object, whenever the object is created at the runtime, okay, the constructor will be called automatically. You no need to call the constructor. Okay, but if you take the function explicitly, you have to call, even though you have declared a function or a method, you have to explicitly call that method. Okay, but constructor you no need to call. Okay, and method will be executed multiple times, but constructor will be executed only one time whenever the object is being created. Okay, so right, and here see, I wanted to check whether that thing is right or not, whether whenever an object is being created, constructor is being called. Okay, so here we are creating an object. To check whether this constructor is being called or not, what I will be doing is I will be writing a print statement over here. Print some called. Okay, I wanted to check when the object is being created, because I have not written any other statements over here. Okay, means whenever I will run the program, what happens, this object will be created and when this object is created, the constructor will be called. So this statement will be executed. Okay, I will check it. Run. See here, this statement is executed. This means that when this object is being created, this constructor is being called. Okay, so that statement is true. So whenever we are creating an object at the runtime, the constructor is being called. Right. Now, they are non-static variables. Okay, non-static variables. To use the non-static variables, we have to use self. Okay, for static variables, we have to use the class name. Okay, I will declare a, see here, but sorry, C1. But even though I have written a print statement, but constructors are not meant to write these kind of statements. Okay, in constructors only we can initialize the values. Okay, uh, and the next thing, like in Java, uh, constructor overloading is not there. Okay, in Java constructor overloading is there, but in Python constructor overloading is not there. Even the method overloading is also not there. Okay, right, we will be discussing that in later stages. First, in this way, this is how we will declare a constructor, and this is how you create an object. Whenever you are creating an object, this constructor is been called. Okay, right. So here what we are doing is, here we are but I wanted to add these two numbers. I wanted to add these two numbers. I wanted to print these two numbers. Okay, and I wanted to use some method. Okay, because in the constructor I can't write the logic. The constructor is used only for to initialize the values. So in this class, what I will be doing is, I will be defining a function, or a method, def some method fun. In that, this is a non-static method because inside that self is there. Okay, this is a non-static method. Sir, how to declare a static method? Sir, I will tell you. No, you no need to worry. Okay, so here in this one, what I wanted to do is print. I wanted to add these two numbers, so I wanted to print add. So these are actually what you call non-static methods, sorry, non-static variables. So if I write a plus b, it is giving some sort of error. Okay, so what I have to do, because to access a non-static stuff, we have to use self dot and self dot. Here the self represents the current object. Okay, and here ref is also referring to the current object, because ref is also a variable which is referring to that memory location. Okay, current object memory location. So here self also is representing to that current object memory location. Okay, so I will run it. So I will run it. Will it print anything? Right. Okay. Some. Okay, here I have mentioned it. Here the main thing. Okay, right. Here see that line is we should not change the position. Okay, because we are here, we are not using any flower brackets, so it depends on the position. where you are uh, writing, where you are defining it. Okay, if you define here, uh, then it will be considered as as a main program. Okay, that this function is in the main program. Okay, if you are considering inside a class, you have to write here. Okay. Okay, nothing happened because why? Because we have created an object but we have not called this method. Okay, so what I will be doing is I will be calling this method. Okay, right. So in this way, okay, here in this way, this is a constructor and this is a non-static method. Okay, then what how to declare a static method, so we'll discuss later about what is a static method, how to declare it. Okay, this class is only for the constructors. So okay, here we are giving the values here, but sir, I wanted to give the values while calling. Okay, so I wanted to create a parameterized constructor. Okay, so this 10 and 20 I will be mentioning over here. 10 comma 20. Then here what I have to do, here I am giving calling the while creating an object, I am what I am doing, I am giving passing the values. So these passwords with these values has to be received. So I wanted to receive here. So I will be creating a variables, some a comma b, or you can give some other. If you are getting a confusion about this a and that a, then what you will be doing, some x comma y, and here what x will be mentioned, and here y. Okay, so run it. Right, so by using this constructor, what I will be doing is I will be writing a program to accept the details, student details. Okay, so I wanted to give 5 student details, and I wanted to print those details. So what I will be doing is I will be creating a class name some c1. Okay, in that I will be creating a constructor. Okay, how the constructor should be df, then underscore in itself. Then in that, what I have to take, I have to take the values of name. Then what it will be there, name will be there, class of study. Then we are having marks, total marks. Okay, tm. So these uh, 3 arguments I am taking it, and I am creating a non-static variable. The variable is self dot s name, and in this s name I am storing this name self cos or s cos is equal to know the difference. Okay, cos self dot total marks or s total marks is equal to total marks. Okay, this is what is the constructor. Now uh, I will be creating a method to print those the values. Okay, so def uh, student details. Okay, uh, print uh, what I wanted to print is name is equal to, like this I wanted to print. Okay, uh, student name is equal to, okay, and here what I wanted to print is s name. Okay, why it is giving error method? Because because it is non-static variable. Okay, okay, so name, class of study, total mark. Okay, so I got the method also. Now in the main program, what I have to uh, use the constructor to give the values. Okay, so I wanted to give the values. So what I will be doing, I will be creating an object. While creating an object only, I will be assigning the value, I will be giving the values. So s1 first student is equal to c1, and here I will be giving name, sorry, Krishna. Okay, then class of study 12th integer I am giving, and okay, total marks some 100. I will be adding for only for 3 students. Some 13, he got some 200 marks, and he got some, the ID is 14, he got some 300 marks. Okay, see here, uh, what I have done, this class is for printing student marks. So printing student marks. Okay, so what happens, when I run this program, first this statement will be executed. In this, the arguments, so I have given the 3 arguments. Then what happens? It goes to this constructor, and it will, from name, Krishna will be stored in name. 12 will be stored for COS, and 100 will be stored for TM. And here what I am doing, the value inside this name is again stored, is given to the uh, s name. Okay, so I am assigning these values with these values. Okay, and here I am in this method, I am printing it. Okay, here what happens, here we have called, whenever I'm calling the constructor, whenever I'm creating an object, the constructor has been called, but after creating an object, I have to call this method also, no, because I wanted to print it. Otherwise, now what you can do is, if you print at the last, what happens, only uh, those value, the last values will be printed, because self means the current object. Here the current, the last, if you print means the last object will be the s1, so the only these values will be printed 3 times. Okay, so what I have to do, is it right? Because we are calling through that object, no, you'll see, is it printed like that? cs sorry, here s2 s3, so s1 dot, sorry, s1, sorry, s1 dot student details. The same way, s2 dot student details. Okay, s3 dot student details. Okay, right, here objects are being created, and here this particular method is being called to the object. Okay, through the class, to the reference variable. Okay, run it, or see here, so these are being printed, right? Okay, this is how a constructor is very much useful. Okay, to reduce the code, the length of the code. Okay, how you are defining a constructor, def underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and we have to give the arguments, in which the self is the first argument. Okay, okay, hope you understood this class. Okay, we'll be discussing more on this constructor in the coming classes.